Welcome to Tell Me More, the Allsteel podcast where design meets innovation and we explore the limitless potential of workspaces. In this exclusive series, we're peeling back the layers of workplace design. From the psychology of colors to the future of hybrid work, join us as we open doors to conversations with industry leaders, architects, and designers who redefine the modern workplace. This is Tell Me More, brought to you by Allsteel, because when it comes to designing the future, there's always more to discover. Hello and welcome back to the Tell Me More podcast. We are live at Fulton Market Design Days here at the Allsteel Experience Center in Chicago, and we are excited to continue the conversation today. We are discussing all things Design Days related and everything that's new and happening at Allsteel. My name is Chelsea Compton, and joining me today on this episode is Dylan and Brian. And Dylan, I will let you introduce yourself, and then we'll pass it over to Brian.
Yeah, thank you, Chelsea. My name is Dylan Eagle. I am the Business Development Manager for Austin, San Antonio, and the Rio Grande Valley.
Nice. Brian?
Yes, I'm Brian Kaule. I am the head of design here at Allsteel and head of product design.
Great. All right. Well, first things first, I'm curious to know, what have you been hearing people talk about at Design Days? Are there any new ideas buzzing around?
Yeah, so I can jump in here.
Okay.
I think one of the main things that I've taken away so far is technology and people's fascination with what's new, what's coming out, and just seeing how it's adapting with furniture and space. I think a big thing is, okay, all of this technology is great. It's awesome, but everything expanding so quickly, how can we adopt this? So I think that's a major trend, and just seeing how people are fascinated with it playing with a space.
Yeah. And here at Allsteel, our big concept that we're talking about is this idea of the intentional office. So what do you think the key benefits are of adopting an intentional office?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things where the member or the person coming to work, they want to know that the office is set up for them. I think that's sort of the change of the ideology of intentional office, which is before it's just having the amenities or having the office to go into or having the workspace to go into it and not being set up for them to be optimal, to be high performers. And then that is up to them. And I think the little switch here is that we're trying to say that if you can optimize that for them, that's one thing less that they have to think about. And therefore, when they come in, they can be synergistic with other people and get the most of that, and then know that they have a place where they can go to be high performers, and that's not something on them to kind of figure out on top of getting to work and getting to the office. Right. So it's sort of a reversal, or a bit of a reversal in terms of what's on them and what's on the workplace.
Right. And I think a lot has changed in the last couple of years, especially post-COVID. So how do you think the intentional office approach aligns with what we're seeing that are current workplace trends?
And one of the big ones, let's jump in here, one of the big ones is focus, right? I mean, people have become used to having the quiet spaces and, sitting up and not having to think about, oh, I'm going to shift to this sort of work style, or I'm going to this topic or this type of work that I'm going to do. And focus is a big one, because there's sort of a stereotype of, if I go in the office, I want to be distracted. I can't do that, right? Mm-hmm. So, but I think that sort of mindset also neglects all the other benefits. So focus is a big one. You see that in private spaces or small team room spaces that people are looking to have adjacencies to where their touchdown is, and make sure that they have that available to them to jump in there, take a call, or if they have to be heads down. So
yeah,
focus is a big one.
And on that, I think socialization is also huge. Being at home, working from home, or working even remote, you kind of lose that. And I think a big part about being successful in your job is being yourself. And I think being able to socialize and get to know your coworkers or, your clients, kind of comes from that that water cooler talk and just being really comfortable with who you are.
Yeah, I think I love that what Dylan's saying too. Socialization, I think, is one of those things. I mean, in previous, it could be like passed over as sort of a maybe, stereotyped as a fun room or a playroom or something like that. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is there's a maturation of ideas that happens when things are more relaxed, right? Like
Sure.
if we get together, we just had a product meeting or a project meeting, and there's a space where we can socialize a little bit. You sort of intertwine different thoughts and you let them, you bounce them around a different way. It's not a formal setting; it's an informal setting, and I just think a lot of the ahas and even like the connections happen in that area beyond the idea of when socialization, being able to obviously have friends at work and build culture. Those things are all the bedrock of performance and collaboration and innovation. If you don't have those things, I think you don't maximize those other things.
Right.
Yeah, I think having good friendships and relationships at work too really helps to boost employee morale.
Mhm.
So that's important. And you guys kind of touched on this, but how do you think the intentional office can improve employee well-being and just overall productivity?
I think it kind of helps give the why behind each space, right? And for that employee, they know, like, okay, I can actually use this room for this task. It kind of takes away some of that anxiety. Oftentimes there was like this weird point where you'd have one person in a large 12-person conference room working. And then, that angst of other people looking in there like, we need to use that space. So it's kind of like setting definitions to two different rooms, two different spaces, and kind of giving the task behind them.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just to build up that, I think everyone wants they want to do their best, right? And we talked a little bit about before, but if you have to think about it or if you have to worry about it, you're not going to be performing at your best. And again, I think that's why people liked being at home is because you don't have to think about it. So, if we can, break that wall down and start to design for that so that that's not even a question anymore. Boy, again, I think the benefits that have been overshadowed about being together in the office now come back to life. And, people are performing and maximizing what they want to achieve. So,
Yeah. Have you received any feedback from any clients about the concept of the intentional office and like how it's shaped our approach?
Yeah, I mean, I was giving multiple tours yesterday, and I think one of the areas in our showroom was where we have the mural product, and then we have the rise. You kind of have everything you need in that one space for focus work, for collaboration, quick touchdowns, and then little micro offices where you can have moments to just do your private calls, quick side conversations. I think that really resonated with a lot of the tours I gave yesterday.
Yeah. How do you see the principles of the intentional office evolving over the next few years?
yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I think this is, no one knows what tomorrow brings, right? But
Right.
the core pillars that we're talking about, intentional office, I think they're just going to get honed, and we'll see how people react to this. But I think the more we embrace this, we can sort of maybe set a path for the future. I mean, the pandemic was a big disruption, obviously, and this is the settle down, and as this sifts out and we sort of take this focus, being more intentional, right, with the office, I think really, really good things are going to happen from this. And I actually don't see it shifting a lot, actually. I think these are just going to become more honed and more focused. And there might be things within each one of these pillars that we sort of break out and see that like it might give birth to something a little bit new within focus or socialization.
Yeah.
But I think these will really pave the path forward.
And I'll say this, I think one thing I'm learning from our lovely workplace advisory team is this idea of living in beta, and just kind of accepting change but preparing for it as well. So I think it's kind of going to ever evolve.
Right. It's ever evolving. Okay. As we're wrapping up, I'm curious if there is anything at Fulton Market Design Days that you would recommend people coming and checking out, whether it be here at Allsteel or elsewhere.
Gosh, that's a great question.
I can chime in. I think that our sustainability gallery here at Allsteel is pretty impressive. We've got the mat chair that we're talking about. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
She took mine.
yeah, I really do love that area. I know we may not supposed to say this, but it's kind of like our little science fair on all the amazing initiatives our company's taking.
Yeah. It's like a high-end
Yeah,
science fair.
it really is. It's great.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great. I really love actually. We have HBF this year in the showroom. The firm is amazing, and I think from just being a product designer and understanding all the craft and the details that go into that, it's really a great, really great product, and really celebrating that sort of touchdown work point spaces that we've been talking about. So that's great. Got to give a shout out to, we got color obviously too is a big thing for us. On the CMF side, new polyshell colors. I'm really excited about that. So color in general too is a lot of people were talking about that.
And then I'd be remiss to say our admix table selection.
Oh, yes.
Winning the HIP award was
Very
amazing.
exciting.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
And I think the feedback that I've received from my market has been really positive. So
We've got Chris Adamick here in the Admix playground, and he's able to walk through the collection. So that's really exciting. It's been fun.
Yeah, I think just to I'll talk about that in a second too. I think a lot of people have their design partners, and we do. And Chris is
That's a good point.
He's really great. So you want to come, hear it from the horse's mouth, right? And he's just awesome, great designer. The table line is just amazing, and obviously speaks, exactly to intentional office is what, if you get a chance to talk to him, can learn more that way as well. So
Love it. Well, guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you for your time today. Thanks for listening to the Tell Me More podcast. Thanks, guys.
thank
of
you.
course, thank you.
And that brings us to the end of another fascinating episode of Tell Me More. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of design and innovation. If you're hungry for more insights and stories, make sure to subscribe to Tell Me More on your preferred podcast platform. As we sign off, remember that the conversation doesn't end here. Connect with us on social media at Allsteel and share your thoughts, questions, or even your favorite moments from the podcast. We love hearing from our engaged and curious audience. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll continue exploring the Design to Do More philosophy. Until then, thanks for listening.